at the moment, as you can see. I'll stick Dale in the background. I'll explain what's going to be happening, and then Dale can start reading out the chat. Let me know who's in and everything. So I'll just change the camera here down to that one, I think. Yeah.
So are you set on your live?
Sorry?
Oh, there we go. It's come online. It's a bit laggy.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Bit laggy.
What am I doing now? Come on, we can think. Shouldn't be thinking when I've stood up.
Some turning, mate.
I'll just stick you back onto the I'm having a great time today, aren't I?
You're there today, so you're definitely there.
Right. Dun, 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 dun. The Woodturners Funnel Club. I am just going to put a link into the chat of where you can get this from. Okay. JP got in touch with Martin Saban-Smith the other day and asked about the Funnel Club t-shirts. So Martin has got he's updated them, the t-shirts. He's got them on his website. If you use discount code JPW15, you'll get 15% off. You can get them just with the logo on the front, or you can get them with the logo on the front and the back, which is the one that I've ordered. Does that come in? No, that doesn't want in. Come on.
This afternoon's job is to clean the floor, clean your favourite floor.
That's not letting me, I think. Right, let's try in here.
So out in the chat we have the ever lovely Mr. James Cassidy, the even lovelier Mr. Fred Taylor, the stunning Fingers McLaren, the jaw-dropping John PBH.
Good afternoon, everyone.
The positively bodacious Baza from Real Simple Things. We've got the terribly tantalizing Tings Turnings, and I'm running out of these things now. Hopefully nobody else comes in. We've got the absolutely joyful Joy, and we've got the incredible Mike, and there's an incredible Mick too. I think that's one. Derek Brightwell, the very bright Mr. Derek Brightwell. There we go. Right, I've run out of them now. Of course, the amazing Stace Makes, the ever lovely Anna. Donna's in, and the lovely Donna.
My God, loads in. Thank you for coming in, guys. Right, what I'm going to try and do today out of this piece of yew that I've got on the lathe is a bird's mouth bowl, inspired by Ernie Conover and also Mike Walt. And in fact, I just watched a video this morning. Doug did one as well, Pole Barn Productions. So, for doing this, I am going to be using New Tool Friday, because it arrived on Friday and I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So this is a Robert Sorby 1/2-inch Excelsior bowl gouge, which is coated with titanium nitrate, so the cutting edge lasts up to 4 times longer than ordinary high-speed steel. Grand. Right then, so
Young John says, "Ooh, shiny."
Oh, shiny, hi, shiny. PCU, it's about 5 inches long by just over 4 thick. So I'm just going to start off by rounding it off. It'll end up being a hell of a lot smaller than this by the time I've finished.
Anna says she's the same too.
Of course you have, Anna. All those good people have got the same tools. I'm turning it just over 1100, so I'm just going to get it rounded off. I'm just holding it between centres at the moment.
Jay from Woodton Wooden Things is in. Jay, I got your stickers this morning, Jay. I'll post them up on Instagram just shortly. Thank you for that. They've come a long way. Twisted Trees is in the chat. Turner Steve is in. Not so sunny down in Devon, he says.
I don't think we're due to get any rain up here until Wednesday.
Hopefully not torrential.
I'll probably start off getting a fair bit of tear out on this, but that doesn't really matter. And you'll probably find or hear bits of bark flying off this as well, because it's a fairly dry piece of wood and the bark, half the bark's already come off.
Wayne Fennell says thunderstorms here in France. Damon Design says a fellow Aussie. Joy says, okay, I finally found the picture I wanted, so I changed that game. I'm happy now, except for the technical error. Hi, Ronnie. Says young David Fingers. Cuz is in the chat. Hello, Cuz.
Hi,
How's
Cuz.
the beard? Dave Carter's in.
Afternoon, Dave.
Dave says he loves watching the person responsible for getting him hooked and turning.
Who was that?
Dave Carter.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Dave.
Yeah, maybe a court. Maybe there may be legal action involved in that.
I see it all the time, Dave. Don't do it.
Miss T's in. Fat Fingers messed up for a few minutes, so it's hi again to everyone. Nick, the Flaming Turner's in the chat.
Hi, Nick.
Who else have we got? Phil Butler, I'm washing up, but I'll be through in a minute, he says. Anna says, to watch you now makes me want to try it out now. I believe she's talking about handling her tool. Blue Light Turner's in. Scott, how the devil are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Scott.
Oh, I like that. Terrific Miss T. I could get behind that. Good shout. Can we go with the scandalous Scott then? The Blue Light Turner? No? The fantastic Flaming Turner? Real Ale's in the chat. And Judy Richardson's here in the chat.
Good afternoon. I don't know if I've had Judy before.
You'll be pleased to hear I bought a power scrubber from a floor in the workshop. It's £30 worth of high-tech Chinese ingenuity.
Let's see how we're doing.
It means those wonderful squares on this floor, Wayne, will be nice and shiny for you coming down at the end of June.
I better not be drinking when I'm down there, not with that floor.
Judy's from Oklahoma.
Good morning, Judy.
Feel a musical coming on. Actually, me and a mate pretty much did all the work in this house, and my mate's from Oklahoma. He's an Okie.
Right, I'm going to be losing a fair bit off the bottom of here because of that sort of V groove you can see there. I need to get onto something flat so I can put the tenon on.
Are you getting out your high heels, are you? Sorry. Dave McLean says the secret workshop. You aren't importing COVID, are you, Dale? No, mate. Not importing COVID. At least not that I think so. We did give it a bit of a clean though before we took it out.
Grand.
Matthew Gallagher's in.
Good afternoon, Matthew.
And the ever hi Donna. Wayne, is that your carbide coated gouge? Asked Cuz.
Titanium coated, because this is a new one. It just arrived on Friday. Take off that. I think I'll move on to a smaller gouge, just so I can get in to do the tenon better.
Mr. Central, I was going to say that. Sorry, Glenn. Mr. Glenn Senior's in the chat, calling in from Glenn from Glen Central, from Yorkshire Grit Central. We've got Andy C's in the chat.
Good afternoon, Andy.
Larry's in. Hello, Larry. How are you, mate?
A lot of early risers over there in the States.
There is. You have 51 watching, sir.
Oh my God.
Arguably an outstanding result. There are two ways to interpret this. You have an awesome, committed audience that's getting up really early, or there's lots and lots of people.
Totally bored out their heads.
I wasn't going to, I started into that sentence with the best intentions, but it didn't go. But I couldn't close it, so yeah. Dave Carter says he's from Dongara in Western Australia here, and hope Wayne does some colour.
No, not today, David. I'm sorry.
Dave in Design says it's about 11:15 here in Tasmania. I now have a vision of the Tasmanian Devil doing from Warner Brothers fame, doing wood turning. There's a comedy image. No disrespect, man, Damon. It's just fun. Oh, no colour, says Damon.
No, David, not when I'm using a nice piece of yew like this.
Pete Fuller is in from INGS Wood Turning in Lincolnshire.
Good afternoon, Pete.
I don't know a lot about Lincolnshire, to be fair. Right, first problem with this scrubber is it takes a long time to charge and runs out of charge pretty quickly. But I am tanking the floor because the extractor didn't come on last night, so there's a bit of I'll get it in a minute. A bit of dust built up in the floor from the spray paint, so it needs a wee clean. Otherwise, it'd be an absolute arse of a thing to try and get off later. What have we got going on in the chat? Says, and rightly so, 50 watching and only 19 likes. Come on, folks. Wayne's awesome. You must like him. You're all here. Go on, hit that thumb. hit that thumb, give the man
Probably going
a
to leave
like.
this bit of bark on there, and I'm probably going to leave this little bit on here as well. This thing's cracking all over the place, but it's you. You're much better off actually if anybody's going to try and do this. Try and find a wet piece of wood. You're much better off using a wet piece of wood than a dry piece of wood.
So if you're in Australia, the drinking game for today is anytime Wayne says the word you, you've got to have a sip. If you're in the US, have a drink of your morning coffee. And if you're in the UK, we'll leave that to your conscience. Cause always hit like as soon as I get in, says John N. Thank you very much, John N. Larry says, I think the old movie Young Einstein when I'm in here in Tasmania. I love Young Einstein, the movie. Bonkers, but brilliant. Julian Clifford's in. Says, hi Wayne, good to watch your demo. Yes, Scott, the Jaffa Cakes gin has arrived. I will be partaking later on today, but we have an afternoons of work ahead of us, and being half cut, doing what I do for a living, will probably be less detrimental than you being half cut when you're doing what you do for a living, but it might not end well.
No, it might not.
Donna says, well, the pub would be open and serving booze if the pubs were open as normal.
That's true.
How much booze could the boozed up boozer booze if the boozers were open to drink booze? Yes, cuz Jaffa Cake gin. Cuz asks, are we doing a hangout the weekend? I absolutely expect to be doing hangouts over the weekend. Don't hesitate and wait to see if one gets set up. Someone jump in and volunteer and start dragging folks in, because we can sort of dance in and out. From the point of view of Google Hangouts, they'll take 25 people right now. I think Zoom has a more flexible sort of limit at the moment. MS Teams will let you take 150, I think. And yeah, so just, folks want to do Hangouts, set them up, drop them into the relevant groups, and have a laugh. They're a lot of fun.
I never get notified of anything.
So they're always too late. When someone always drops it into the relevant chat, and every now and again, the Team Scroll Saw one was the last one I was on, which was Saturday night, which was all the usual suspects drinking beer, being young Andy was in there, and amongst others, as in Andy Burkey and a few other folk, other loonies. Donna says, I should still be drinking coffee or tea at my local. I do admire the self-restraint there, Donna. I think if I could get to the boozer, I would not be drinking tea.
Just extract
Demon says, that's a funny thing. Turnings always seem to shrink. And the length tends to get shorter. Short answer on the Zoom question. Donna, I hear Zoom is bad for spyware, etc. Not safe. No, the company who owns Zoom have Chinese connections. That's why folks are saying about spyware, and you can kind of photobomb Zoom meetings. So you get these little assholes sort of working out what the code is and popping in and saying hi in the middle of your serious conversation. That's what's wrong with Zoom, really. Other than that, much of them. He says, always makes me smile when Wayne brings out his thunder. Oh, hello. Love Angel says, I've got a nice black and blue knee as I got my dress in the door and tripped down the stairs. Wow, you all right, Donna? That sounds quite sore. Phil Biller says, okay, I finished the washing up. Now you can all start.
Phil is going to be doing a quiz in a couple of weeks. I believe it's the 7th of May. Martin is doing a couple of live shows on lacquering. He's got to do it in 2 lives because obviously lacquering takes a fair amount of time. The second live is going to be on the 7th, and then I think after Martin's finished doing that, Phil's going to be doing a quiz, and it's going to be a charity quiz. So I believe donations can be made, and it's for blood bikes. The charity is for. A bit closer to the time, I'll stick certainly links to the blood bikes, to a video on blood bikes, and I think the other one is about. I don't know if it's the GoFundMe one or what. I'll have to recheck them. Phil sent us them the other day, but just to let you know that there is going to be a quiz. So come along and join in the quiz and have a laugh. I'm just going to sand this to 240. This may well fall apart at some point because of all the cracks in there, but hey ho. I could fill the cracks in with super glue, but like I say on all of my life, these are just practice pieces.
Joy says, be careful with those knee injuries, Donna. My knee never turned colours, but I wound up in a brace for 4 months and PT for almost 2 years. Phil Butler says, thank you very much. May 7th, a Thursday evening. Young Cuz says, sorry, I was sharing the live out and missed the details. Yes. Love Angel says, did break her ankle on a Friday the 13th while on holiday in Malta. Managed to trip over the thin air. Thin air is always terrible. There should be special health and safety courses for thin air. Tantalizing Things Turning says, are you a biker, Wayne?
I'm not a biker, no. I believe Phil is. I'm pretty certain he is.
I think Glenn would qualify.
Yeah, Glenn definitely is. I'm not going to put the links up now because it's a couple of weeks away. So I'll put the links up closer to the time, just so people know that it's happening. It should be a good laugh. Knowing the way that Phil's mind thinks, it's certainly going to be a good laugh. There we go, using the Yorkshire grit over the sand and sealer. Seeing as how I'm not colouring and I am using Yorkshire grit, I'll maybe get my job back.
Phil Biller says, my wife thought I was listening to commentary on golf from Scotland, as your voice is very much like the BBC guy who does commentary on the golf.
That must be you, Dale.
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, how can I do a golf commentary about wood turning? I'll think about that for a minute. Phil says he's a biker. He's trying to get his advanced license so he can be a blood biker. Joy English says, Sturgis Phil. Love Angel says, Donna, anything going to go wrong is going to go wrong with my right leg, as the leg I broke my ankle on. The nice big bruise on the knee and leg I had shingles on. Wow, Donna, you're definitely having a leggy moment. It's really,
I think I'd be trading that one in, Donna.
I definitely,
you know,
I mean, there might be a warranty option there. You should explore it. You are now employed again, apparently, says John PBH. John N says, trying to get Yorkshire Great here in Ontario, Canada. Glenn, not sure who that is. Is that Bearwoods?
Right, Ontario, Canada. The best guy to go to would be Rob Summerlin of Glenn. Give us a hand here. I'm forgetting his company name. Woodsley Summercraft. That's it. Have a look. Look him up. I'm sure he's on Facebook. I'm not very sure if he's got a web page or not. But look him up. He does Yorkshire Grit in Canada. And I'm now going to use Food Safe Wax from Wayne of the Big Feet.
Wayne of the Big Feeties. Phil says yes, Dale's voice. Damon says, Phil Butler or a biker that keeps the blood off the road. Me, I'd be all over the place, need training wheels. Andy C says, I used to do it when I had a bike, very worthwhile cause. John PBH says, Wayne gets his number 2 iron out. Boom. Yep, I could see where you're going there. I was aiming for something about approaching the fairway now. He's going to tee off with a wood. things like that. I'm not sure where I was going to go with that one. I still need to kick that one around. Dave O website have it. Dave AU website has it. Sure. Sorry, right. Jay.
Just going to see how this fits into the chuck. In case I need to take that centre nub out a wee bit.
I think Rob Summerlin sells Yorkshire Great in Canada. Phil, I think you're right. Phil Butler says, Love Angel, reference your knee. I'm not a qualified daughter, but if you take your clothes off, I'll have a look. My word. My word. He's on Facebook, says Cuz. Andy, I agree. See, John N. Oh, thank you so much. Cuz says, and Instagram. John Cassidy says, Phil laughs. John English says, Phil, for shame. John N says, thank you, Phil. Demon says, laughs out loud, Phil. Love Angel says, it looks fine. What joy? I don't think I've done anything wrong. I took my Mad Max mask out for a spin on the bike last night, and the looks I was getting, Secret Workshop, Prop Store and Customs, said that. Jay says, others have it too. Phil, I reread. Oh my God, I misread that.
I'm not too sure on this. I may well have to take this back out of the chuck and just tighten it up and see.
Steve Blincon's in. Good afternoon, everyone, he says. Hi, Steve. I'm getting da-da-da-da-da-da. Where's that coming from? I think that must be work.
Right, I'm just going to pop this back in. Sorry about this, guys. I just need to take a bit more out of this bit at the end here. It's not quite sitting in the chuck properly. better. Move some stuff out of the way so I can get the tailstock out of the way eventually.
We have I've lost while I was dealing with work there. I've lost track of the count. So let me catch this up. Wayne, what are you making?
I am making bird's mouth bowl. So that, let's see if it's better on that one. This here, the way it's shaped, resembles a bird's mouth or a chick or whatever it is they're called, sitting with its mouth open, waiting to be fed. Grand.
What do you call? Barry says, "What do you call a man with no shins?" As I then says, Tony. Twisted Trees got carried away then. Rough turning wet wood to go into the kiln. Lost the tablet and a large pile of shares. Hope it's waterproof. Glancina says, I'm flicking in and out while making grit. Who are misses? So what else we have? We have nothing yet from Yet Fingers. Baz, any luck getting through to Axminster, pal? Nothing yet, says Baza. Fabulous. I've just noticed how clean Wayne's floor is. I'd expect it had already been mentioned.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen that side of the lathe. Let's see if I can get a different camera angle for you.
Larry's asking me a direct question, and it's one I can't really answer. Dale, Steve Twidell, and Leona haven't been in for a while. Are they okay? I'm not sure, Larry. I see Leona's posting on Facebook. Maybe you should ask her.
They were in on Chris's live last night, the pair of them. Oh, wrong one.
Hey, Larry. Finger says they're okay, Larry. Dave Carter says, rigged my floor, there's Arvo. It's all dirt. And Larry says, thanks, David. Joy says, a robot walks into a bar and the bartender tells him to get out. He says, we don't serve your kind here. The robot responds, not yet. The Flaming Turner says, howdy to anyone that joined. I'm mainly watching and listening while I edit, as I want my hand to heal a bit more before I go back to the workshop. Quintinia says, sound like Joy, laughs out loud. A secret workshop, props are on customs. I started to turn a bowl today. It's my first one. I don't have a chuck, so I have screwed it onto a plate. Good. Love Angel Donna says, shared on my arts and crafts page. Not many on that page, mind you. What's the link, Donna? And we can drop it into the chat, get a few more people to have a look. What grind did you use on your chisel, Wayne?
What grind do I use? I use a 4545. Let's see how we'll come in with that. That's looking not too bad.
David Design, he says he was about to ask the same question. Jack says, I think Yorkshire grit is a con job. Yes, it works, but at what price? Make your own pennies on the pound. It works just as well. Montana wood art.
Suit yourself.
Each their own, Crackerjack. Personally, I think Yorkshire Grit is absolutely awesome. It's the best abrasive paste I've ever used. And I've tried a few now, so each their own.
I've got to agree with you there, Dale. If I didn't think it was that good, I wouldn't demonstrate it at fairs and shows.
So Butler says, is the new chisel as good as you hoped, Wayne?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Definitely. Tell you what, this floor's come up lovely with that little bit of scrub before the battery ran out. You're going to get vertigo, mate, when you come into this. I'll make a handrail. Finger says, Crackerjack, sorry, I don't agree with you. Roberto says, I think the success of Yorkshire Grit, both original and microphone, speaks for itself, and I think that echoes how we all feel. I think. Crackerjack says, I've started to use an oscillating saw to remove the founder rub. Works great, and there is no tear out. Scott says, I love Yorkshire Grit. Works fantastic in wood and faded headlight. The Flaming Tunnel says, sorry, Jack, but I'm sure everyone uses it will disagree with you, or they wouldn't keep on buying it. Joy says,
right. The thing is with Yorkshire Grit and buying it in America is that there are obviously taxes involved, there's shipping involved, there's customs involved, which is why it's more expensive over in the States and Canada than what it is over here. But there's nothing Glyn can do about that. That's economics, that is. Whoops.
Clive Sneaks Wallarts in the chat.
Good afternoon, Clive.
Hi, Clive. Thank you so much.
The reason I got a catch there is because I was using the gouge wrong. I was using it the way I tell everybody else not to use it. That's better. Right, I'm going to swap from the gouge and I'm going to use a... Which one am I going to use? I'm just going to use a carbide.
Cool. So Rubber Dub says, yet another thumbs up for YG. Young David McLaren says, hi, Clive. Tunnel Steve says, YG is awesome. Says, Wayne's right, not cheap here either. Fabula says, to be fair to Jack, not everyone is the same and we all have different opinions. I like Kylie Minogue wearing underwear. I'm not, but it does nothing for my wife. Okay. Not sure where you were going with that one. Sorry, Joy, I missed the comment about the lathe earlier on. Could you repeat it, mate? That'd be wonderful. Twisted Tree says, I find that coated chisels stay sharp for about a third longer, so less sharpening probably means they last 20% longer. Larry says, Joy. Larry says, Joy, pretty much just a faceplate. Live sentence, per center, no tools or chuck. John says, Cuz says, not much can be done about it across the YG in other countries, but however, you can do is pop across the UK and buy loads from Glyn and then take it across. Boom. Steve Jeremiah's in the chat. Hi all. The terrific Miss T says, although I really enjoy watching Wayne turning, I must get back to my own workshop and get on with the lid for my Tiger bowl form. So bye for now.
Oh yes, T. You get back to the workshop and carry on doing the lid for that.
Joy says, if I buy a lathe, does it come with any accessories?
It really all depends, Joy. I think, which one is it? Is it the Comet 2? The Comet 2 MIDI lathe. I think you can buy that as a bundle with a chuck involved. Included, I should say, not involved.
Steve Jeremiah says, "Hi there, trying my hand at a tiny thin finial while watching." Yandos have been doing bundles at the moment, says Fingers. Joy English, someone told me that many lathes come with little tools as well, but they are crap. Again, I think it's who you're buying it for. What deal do they have in the day? I think, Joy. I certainly know when I bought my lathe, I got a faceplate, and that was it. Everything else, including the chuck, I had to buy. Even Design says, Joy, keep an eye out for specials. Sometime you can get a package deal. Exactly my point.
Yeah.
I certainly know that whenever Wreck of Power are doing a certain such Axemen, so they tend to have bundles on the day where you get a chuck and some tools and stuff like that. Pretty cool. There's also some merit in buying your own tools, spending a bit of time and understanding what you want to buy. As I certainly know with some of the bundled stuff, it tend to be, I need to help me here, Wayne, I might get this wrong, carbon steel tools, which are perfectly all right, but not as strong.
No, it'll be fairly cheaply made high-speed steel. I don't think anywhere does carbon tools anymore. I'm not saying carbide, by the way. I'm saying carbon.
Carbon steel, yeah.
Carbon steel tools went out many moons ago. In fact, not long after I started turning, to tell you the truth, because I started turning with carbon tools.
Joy's saying as I wouldn't have any way to sharpen the tools, it would be better to get carbide tools. It's an interesting point, Joy.
Yes, Joy. Is the quick answer to your question there. And for those of you out there who are not turning at the moment and thinking about getting into turning, make sure you've got lots of money. I'm just going to change the camera, mainly because I've started hitting one of the camera mounts with this tool. So
Cass says he was going to say, I thought they went out with World War II. No. Demon Design says, Joy, also work out what you want to do as turnings, as that will dictate what tools you need. Carbide can be sharpened as well. You can certainly de-dull them, although sharpening one of those kind of raise a question mark. You need a diamond plate to be able to sort of clean the ends off them.
diamond plate and lapping fluid.
Yeah. Larry says, Joy, watch Facebook Marketplace, sometimes great deals there. Kaz says, can you get brazed carbide for wood turning? Cracker just I found no difference in Yorkshire homemade version. The results are with each. PS, the Yorkshire man has not influenced my comment. Steve Jeremiah, lots of money. That's very true, Wayne, unfortunately. James Cassidy, part 1 of 2. Use intrinsic paints on a piece of ash. Use Martin's thin sanding sealer, several coats, as expected. Remove some of the paint. There's another part coming up in a second, I think. Demon Design, haha, yes, lots of money. I just took delivery Laguna 2436, about 5k lighter, and only the outbound extension as an extra. John PBH says, Wayne, that's very true. Started turning about 8 months ago. All the essentials you understand as far as the wife was concerned. Mr. Tree says, NAF quality free tools are good for starting out. You can learn to sharpen them and then buy some good ones. Things Turning says, what lathe are you using, Wayne?
I'm using this is the Axminster. When I bought this, it was called the 1628. I think it's now called the Axminster. I think it's the 450. It's called now. I'd have to look it up on the Axminster site. Very solid, cast legs, cast bed, 2 horsepower motor, 2 speed settings on it, 50 to 1250 and 150 to 3750 revs per minute on this. Pretty much a standard spindle size, certainly for the UK now, which is an M33 by 3.5. Brilliant piece of kit. I've had mine for a good few years now. Never done me wrong at all. It's absolutely brilliant. So
Joy was saying she's actually looking at Home Depot for the source of her lathe. Part 2, James Cassidy used melamine lacquer to finish and was surprised it removed more paint. Question, whether you should use undiluted sanding sealer?
It tends to get gloopy. If you're talking about cellulose sand and sealer, it's better off thinned down 75% sand and sealer, 25% cellulose thinners.
Let's see if we can catch up. Finger says he uses the Proxon. Oh wait, I missed a trick here. If you join the club, you soon get to hear other people either give up or sadly pass away, and you'll be able to buy a complete workshop very cheaply in some cases. Oh Dale, you're in trouble. What have we done now? Twisted Trees, 403, 40 centimeters, 16 inch. Things Turnings, cheers Wayne. Joy PBH, Joy from YouTube. YouTube videos I've seen here in the US. The Home Depot seems to be good deals and you can chat to them. A bit like Axminster here in the UK. Joy says just after looking, have to look somewhere. Bazza says I'll have a look. Fingers. Isn't the Proxon the mini tools? Morning Wayne just signed in. You got my mom started. Got your mom started doing what, Joy? What me done? Excuse me, wasn't there at the time. It wasn't started. Whatever it was.
Hiya, Dennis. That's Dennis just signed. I believe Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. Yep, Dennis has just popped in. I love Angel. Home Depot is the same as B&Q, says Donna. Damon says she might like the sound of your voice, Dale. Well, there's no accounting for taste, Damon. Really, is there? Larry LC Woodworks. Joy, what size of lathe are you considering getting? Love Angel. Even the same color. Very true point. True point, Donna. I lived in the States for a bit. I hadn't crossed my mind that they were the same costume. Don't think they're owned by the same company though. I might be wrong in that.
Right, how we doing here?
Finger says, have a wee look at it. I have had it for about 6 years plus, going to upgrade soon. Dennis says, Wayne, I live in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada.
I knew he was from Canada, I couldn't remember where though.
Joy says, not a super big one, Larry, just want to turn some bowls of cups, designed to turn some cups. John N says, hey Dennis, I live in Oshawa, Ontario. Steve Jeremiah says, Wayne, what wax do you prefer? Wood wax 22 or Hampshire Sheen High Gloss?
All depends on what comes to me hand first, to tell you the truth. When it comes to wax, I have used Wood Wax 22 from Chestnut Products with a hell of a lot of success over the years, and the microcrystalline wax as well. I've used the majority of Martin's waxes over the years as well, again, with a lot of success. At the moment, I'm using this. It's food safe wax made by a friend of mine called Wayne Gilbert, commonly known as Wayne Bigfoot Woodcrafts. He does a lot of chopping boards and things like that. So he needs a food safe wax, so he basically makes his own. So I'm using that at the moment, again, with good success. I don't think, to tell you the truth, there are any bad waxes out there. You'll get some that are more expensive than others.
Steven Design says, every time I hear the name Dennis, his ears prick up. That's his actual name. So Dennis from Tasmania and Dennis from Ontario. Cool. I'll remember that.
Whenever you're sanding anything like this and you are going to power sand, remember to have the drill tilting down. So when the piece comes round on the natural edge, it's actually hitting on the trailing edge of the sanding pad rather than the leading edge of the sanding pad, because that's just going to take it in and rip it down. You're going to start having problems. And you'd actually be better off using a smaller pad.
Steve Jeremiah says, only Emma, the Tiny Turner, says Wood Wax 22 has a lower melting point. James Cassidy says, interesting, spoke to Chestnut this morning, who are of the opinion only their product, and in their view you should, oh heck, I scrolled off the top of the screen. With you, and in, right, so I'll start again. Interesting, spoke to Chestnut this morning, who are of the opinion only on their product, and in their view, you should not dilute cellulose sanding sealer. Yes.
I'm sure Terry had something out. I've spoken to Terry about this in the past, and I'm sure it was on one of the mind you, this was a few years ago. I spoke to Terry about this, but they did recommend about 75-25. Maybe he's changed his mind.
Gabriela says Home Depot and B&Q are not the same company. B&Q are owned by Kingfisher, who also own Screwfix. Larry LC Woodworks.
Type of company.
Yeah, definitely same type of company. Larry LC says, do you follow Jake Thompson on YouTube? As he has a horror freight lathe that is mid-size, but they can also carry a medi lathe as well. Horror freight, is that a Harbor Freight or is it a Freudian slip?
A lot of people talk about Harbor Freight as horror freight.
Yeah.
Some people are of the opinion that they're not very good and very, very cheap. I wouldn't know since I live in the UK. But other people tend to quite like them.
As long as they're not, the lathe isn't the scary Aldi lathe that they shipped right at the start, which was pretty horrible.
That's oh god, that's just a horrible machine. That is. It used to be made by Clark, if I remember. Yeah. It's another one of these
tubular steel, a box section steel with a fixed head.
If anybody comes across one of them for any sort of cheap price, even if it's £5 or $5 or whatever, don't get it because you're wasting your money.
Oh, I was going to say, by all means get it, but don't cut the bed down. Cut the bed down and just use it for polishing. Just use it for polishing, especially if you get it for $5. But all it's worth for.
Horrible bits of kit. I'm just taking the rest of this bark off. The majority of the bark has already come off this, so I'm just getting rid of the rest of it.
Oh.
So it's out of the way.
Joy's mum is in the chat. Hi, Joy's mum. Hi, everyone. I disagree with the idea of beginning with poor quality tools in anything. If you start with poor quality, you develop bad skills, and it makes it difficult when you get good quality. I think Joy's mum is correct. Hi, Joy's mum.
The thing is that not everybody can, certainly to start off with, not everybody can afford the top quality tools. For the likes of, for instance, Doug Thompson tools, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford a Doug Thompson gouge.
David says exactly those lovely GMC Danger lathes. Derek Brightwell says Simon Hope of Hope Wood Turning is going to have a good promotion on lathe soon. And Damon Design, hi Joy's mum. Joy's mum, it's also cheaper to start with good quality rather than buying multiple times.
Simon had some good deals at the Harrogate show. He was selling off all of his demonstration lathes at a discounted price. So there was quite a few people got some good bargains there.
Young JP's in the chat. Hey all, sorry I'm late. I'm in the shop sanding. Dennis from Damon Design says, I dream of owning a Doug Thompson's gouge. JP says, such fun. Cuz says, are the top quality tools really that much better than something like a Robert Sorby?
Robert Sorby are top quality.
I was about to say, what? Woodsley Summercrafts. Hi, guys.
Good afternoon, Rob. Just talking about you earlier
Good
on.
Way. The chap in Ontario looking to buy some grit.
Well, there's a couple of guys in from Ontario, Rob, and one of them was asking if they could get Yorkshire grit in Canada. So I pointed them in your direction.
Dave McLaren, Woodton and Craft says, hi JP. Various others say hi, babe. Flemington says, I agree with Wayne, as there isn't a lot I can afford, so I do with what I've got and save like mad. Steve Blinkon says, I started off with a lumberjack lathe, very cheap. I've lost my thread in the chat now.
My first lathe was a second-hand lathe that I picked up fairly cheap. There used to be a company called Arundel over here in the UK, and I picked up a second-hand Arundel lathe, and I had that for about 4 years, I think, before I upgraded, and then I've been upgrading ever since.
Gonna whiz through some of the chats. Buy cheap, buy twice is quite true when it comes to tools. However, you can get some tools that punch well above the weight. Good point, cuz. James Cassidy says, like Wayne, I have an Act 1628 I've had for quite a few years. Brilliant lathe. Andy from Andy
with the buy cheap, buy twice, because of the age that we live in, and what many people call the immediate gratification, is that people want something and they want it then, or they want it there and then, and they're not prepared to save and wait for it, so they will start off by buying cheap. Right, that's 2 o'clock. Right, guys.
I'm going to wrap this up with a few comments. Andy Bespoke's in the chat, just arriving at the last minute.
I'll get this finished properly a bit later. All I've got to do is get it reversed into the lathe, take the knob and the spigot off the bottom, get it cleaned up. That won't be a problem. But I like to keep the lunchtime lives to an hour, mainly because I've got Dale in my ear and he needs to get back to work.
Go and do this W word again.
So that's the bird's mouth bowl finished. I'll pop
Very
you
good.
quickly
Love it.
onto the other cam. So there it is, guys. I think that's
Lots of good words out in the chat.
Nice little piece of you. Done the shape of a bird's mouth bowl. At home with the fishes is on tonight. If you want to shoot off, Dale, that's fine. I'll just get.
I'm going to duck out, folks. It was great to see everyone. John PBH has just dropped a super chat thing. I'll catch up with you guys later. Have fun, folks. Bye.
Thanks very much, John. Right, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Another quick video just for a lunchtime, just to keep you occupied, if you like. Tonight, we've got at home with the fishes, where they will be having, that lasts about an hour, just having a generalised chat on what they've been up to and everything. Tonight, 9:15 UK time, we've got our own Andy on doing some carving. I believe he's going to be doing in fact he is going to be doing a seahorse tonight, carving a seahorse out the GPS. So I may well be in the live, so we may well be chatting again. Tomorrow, who's in the live tomorrow? I think it might be Andy at lunchtime tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow night we will have Richard, the Beard Time 16, doing a live. I can't remember if Martin does a live on a Tuesday night now or not. Wednesday, I believe it's going to be Nick, the Flaming Turner. Oh, thank you, Twisted Trees. Very nice of you. Much appreciated. Nick will be on Wednesday lunchtime. Wednesday night, who's on Wednesday? Oh, it's me. So I'm back on Wednesday evening doing something. Then I'm back again on Thursday lunchtime because me and Dale have done a swap round. Thursday night, I think Rich might be doing a Beard Invades. I don't know if there's any lives on. Friday lunchtime, Dale's going to be in doing probably a bit of scroll sewing for an hour or so. Friday evening, it'll be Stace, our own Stace, doing her live. Nick usually does a premiere before that. Saturday, Ed Oliver's been doing lives on a Saturday morning for a couple of hours. Saturday lunchtime, I think that might be another double. Nick usually does a Saturday lunchtime and Saturday night. Emma the Tiny Turner is live on the Saturday night. Sunday, we usually have Dale on Sunday afternoon. Chris Fisher, the Blindwood Turner, does a live at 7:30. And then the Makers International podcast is on at 9 o'clock. Then following the podcast, Jamie Page Woodwork, he has his premiere straight after, usually at about 11 o'clock UK time. And then young Caitlin has a premiere 11:15, 11:30, something like that on the Sunday night. So I'll just have a look, see what's been going on. Oh, Richard's just saying that he's invading Kim Tippin this Thursday. That'll be good. Nick's not putting a premiere out this week. Cracker Jack saying lunchtime, it was 5 p.m. here. Thanks for getting up and watching Cracker Jack. Much appreciated. It's just strange how we've got people, obviously here in the UK, it's lunchtime, different times all over the States. We've got people in Australia who are watching as well, all over the States and Canada, I should say. We've got people in Australia watching as well. It's just, this internet's just a magical thing. Right, guys, I'm going to get away. Thank you for coming in. It's much appreciated. I can't believe there was over 50 in watching on a lunchtime. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I might be in Andy's live tonight. I'm not too sure. If not, I'll speak to you again on Wednesday evening. Bye for now.